are the Rabbis Without Borders podcast.
I like to think of it more of as a Skipper-Gilligan relationship.
Which one am I?
You can be the skipper. I'm Gilligan.
Well, you know who we could be? We could really just be Phineas and Ferb, because you know what Phineas's Hebrew name
I
is?
have no idea who Phineas and Ferb is.
It's like the dumbest cartoon ever. Dumb is not even the word for it. And anyhow, so that's my complaint of the week.
I'm down with that, even though I do wonder. Someone asked me an interesting halacha shaila the other week. They have a major problem with challah. So their question is, on Friday night, can they not eat challah?
Is the problem with gluten or with challah?
So the problem is that when they eat one piece of challah, they have to have 12 pieces of challah. That's the problem. They were serious. But this is the world we live in. The same thing with smartphones.
Right, 100%.
We spoke about that. There's a school in San Jose, which has a ton of developers from Apple and Google. They send their kids there, and the school has a policy. There's no smartphones and no tablets allowed in the school. Yeah. So they asked the parent on the board, "How do you
make them?"
Right. He said, "Yeah, I know. We make them to be addictive,
right?
And therefore, we at the school know." And he said, "You'll see.
We make money off them." It just, I think you're right. It's a reminder of perspective, and all of us are going to say in our Seder in just over a week, L'Shana Haba B'Yerushalayim. And the question is, how many of us are really going to mean it? How many of us are really going to mean it? I mean, I talk about this often. I talk about it openly. I talked about it with a donor yesterday. This particular donor I was meeting with is a big AIPAC supporter. Like, he was national president of AIPAC. And not Howard C. Friedman, in case you thought that's where I was going.
You have to always be a belief in Mashiach. I personally end the Seder Shana Haba Orlando. Mm-hmm. That's how I end it. But yeah, absolutely.
Not L'Shana Haba Bahomawak?
No.
Is Homawak still open?
No way. Catskills.
Catskills.
And anybody who's going to a hotel in the past Catskills for Pesach, I have Rachmanis. When I was
I guarantee you they not use white flour.
So
right.
Now people are wondering. I just said that matzah is the lechem of gula. What do you mean? Gemara says that matzah is lechem aini. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's how we start off that God. The first part of Magid is halach manya, the achlava sana ba'ar the Mitzrayim. So we ate matzah Mitzrayim. So matzah is poor man's bread. But yet, if you how does Magid end? Matzah zush anu oichlem hashuma. Why do we eat this matzah? Hashum shaloi speak betekam shalavosenu lahachmitz. The dough didn't have time to rise. In other words, the matzah now becomes not bread of poverty; it's become bread of geula. So it's a stira.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
It's mamash.
Yeah. So you could say they had 10 months to prepare, or at least 12 hours to say they'd gotten there. Paro says go. Moshe says we're going, but we're waiting for high noon. We're waiting 12 hours to show you that we ain't running out like thieves. We're running out when we want to run out. We're going out the way we want to go out. Last time I checked, it takes, I don't know. I know when my wife makes challah, it takes, I don't know. Okay, she has yeast, granted, but still, it doesn't take, even without yeast, don't take that long. So anyways, there's
probably some yes, some not.
So again, this is what we have to do with the Seder. And in life, really in life in general, like you discussed last week, the Seder is just a microcosm for how we have to deal with life. When we see things in front of us that don't make sense, ask the questions, think about it, get to the depth of it.
The last question is, on the regular night, we don't dip even one time. Not that you're not allowed to dip.
We're not required to
dip. Tonight we dip 2 times. One time we dip with karpas. One time we dip when we dip the maror into charoses, and just a little public service announcement. It does not mean take a little piece of maror, a massive hunk of charoses. No, it's like you just put it in there and you shake off the charoses at the end.
It's like, anyways.
And there's that barbecue on the 80.
Yeah, for those people traveling on the 80. Don't forget about the...
I actually drive there.
How far out to
That's
80
my
is it?
supper. Well, it's about a 4-hour drive from Cleveland. So it's about 8 hours on the road. But hey, it's a couple hot dogs.
The funny thing is, I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody told me that there are people who do that. I would not be surprised.
David Mausmacher does it some years.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's also interesting why we start off with bad and end with good. It's an interesting mahalach of the Seder. Why do we have to mention the bad? And I think not only on a national level to remember the bad things that have happened to Klal Yisrael, but also on an individual level that a person can know that even if he's made mistakes, things have not gone the way he wanted it to, he's done averas, it could end off good.
But jarred gefilte fish, which really just begs the question: what is that gel stuff in there? You know, I think
I know what it is.
I know what it is. So it's gelatin makes when you whatever. It's pasha. It's pasha. It's fish. It's fish pasha.
It's gala.
It's fish pasha. Right, exactly. So I honestly think that stuff should be outlawed because we look at, you know, especially in our line of work, we look at all these things that have caused troubles in Klal Yisrael, caused Jews to leave the fold. We want to bring Jews back in the fold and inspire them. I don't think there's one thing in the world that's caused more Jews to leave the fold than that gefilte fish. And participated from. Everyone out there should have a Chag Kosher Sameach and a big old fat welcome to the guest.
Called Welcome to the guest.
If you know what's good for you, subscribe to the Rabbis Without Borders podcast, wherever podcasts are found. Welcome to the guest.